If you're a business owner who's been struggling to sell your products or services online, and you know that you have a great product, people rave about your products, you get great results, then 9 times out of 10, it's probably because you're in the wrong market. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 main variables that you need to consider to ensure that you are able to position your brand in the best market for you so that your business can remain profitable and that you can scale in the future. So welcome back to another episode of Unedited, where we talk about all things sales, marketing, and mindset. My name is Lauren Nelson, and I am your favorite, that is right, favorite sales and marketing coach. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about what you need to know to make sure that you are entering into the right markets. I don't know how many times I've seen this before, but it's an issue, guys. It is an issue. And if you find yourself in the wrong market, not only is it exhausting, but it's painful to your pockets because you're pouring money in and you're getting very little to nothing in return. Right? And we can see this a lot of times when, especially during the COVID era, right? And this is just going to be a very broad example before we actually get into today's points. But I know you guys saw people were hopping on these trends, right? You know, getting into eyelash business or lip gloss and all these things, right? The trendy businesses, skincare, hair care, the easy ones that we can start from home, just make quick cash. After a while, people have enough of that. They're like, we got our hair care, we got our skincare, we got the lip gloss, like what's next? So the people who started entering into those markets a little bit later, they realized quickly that those markets were declining. People were no longer interested in just buying things to buy things because the world was back open. We weren't just at home sitting around doing nothing. We had less money to spend after that because the funds that were given to us where we were just sitting down doing nothing had gone away. So understanding when to enter into a market, when to leave a market, and how to position your brand in the right market are all really important things to know to make sure, again, you are using your funds effectively. You're not running out of money doing the wrong things. And so you can start bringing more money into your business. So let's get into these 4 points. Y'all, hold on. Before we get into it, look at how cute this notebook is. I went to Target. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me just go on my tangent. I went to Target and re-upped. Re-upped. Do you hear me? And then, okay, I got this cute little weekly planner for my 12-week year for the people who are joining me on the 12-week year. But look at this. I don't think you can see it. I don't want y'all to see my to-do list for this week. As you can see, Monday through Sunday, just tasks. And it says the week of. It's perfect for the 12-week year. Literally just open it, focus. Okay, let's get back to what's really important for today in my handy dandy notes book. So the first concept we're going to be talking about, or the first variable that's necessary to consider to make sure that you're entering into the right market, positioning your brand in the right market, is making sure you're entering into a market where the pain is clearly visible. This is the one thing that most people don't consider deep enough before they start their business, right? They just get into business because they want to start the business. I've had so many people ask me, like, Lauren, should I start this business? And I'm like, do people need what you're trying to offer? Are there not thousands of other brands doing the same thing? You know, and so this is why I'm always so passionate and so focused on creating people-focused businesses. Because when you're thinking about people first, you're looking to solve problems. It's not about you. It's not just the fact that you want to make money. That's cool, right? When you give, you receive. So if you give great things, you're going to receive great things. So that's the last thing we're going to think about. But we need to figure out, are the people in pain where we're going to? And what will make you the most profitable in your business if you find big pain points, right? The bigger the pain, the more, how can we put this? The bigger the pain is that you're target audience is experiencing, one, the more they will pay you to fix it, and the quicker they will pay you. You don't have to do too much convincing because they're experiencing it, right? Think about something as simple as being thirsty at the beach. You ain't got to do much convincing to somebody who's thirsty. You just bring the water and they buy. Right now, think about going to a grocery store. That's a little bit more convincing because not everybody who goes to the grocery store is thirsty, right? They have to go there with that need. And so thinking about how to position your business, if you want to be the most successful, find the biggest issue that people are dealing with. Find out what is actually causing them the most trouble and figure out how to solve that. That's what will get you paid time and time again. Because when you start creating these products that are commodities, right? Like, for example, creating lip glosses, creating hair care products. No shade to anybody who's doing that, because obviously if that's something you're passionate about, do it, like 100%. If you found a secret formula that makes hair grow by tomorrow, do it. Like, people want that. But I'm just saying, when you're thinking long term, when you're thinking about how easy it will be to convert and build your audience and do all these things, the pain is going to be a big factor. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of hair care brands. I'm going to talk about hair care because I had a hair care brand when I very first started getting into business, right? So it's no shade. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about any of y'all. But I had a hair care brand, and really, again, the reason why people bought, one, I had a really good message, and it was to desegregate the hair care industry. So it was less about the hair care products, even though the hair care products was great, but it was more about the mission. And then also with that, I had to use my personal brand to sell as well. So that's another thing you have to consider. A lot of times when people are selling these commoditized products, or I wouldn't even say services, commoditized products, let's just stick with that, it's because they're using their personal brand to sell. That's how you'll get the most traction the fastest, right? Because it's just how it works. I'm not going to lie. Unless you're investing tons and tons of money into influencers, paid ads, all that stuff, trying to rebuild brand awareness. But I digress. That's a whole nother topic. But just remember, keep in mind that you need to have, or you need to enter and go into the market looking to solve people's pain. The greater the pain you are solving, the more you will get paid, and the faster you'll get paid, because people want their problem solved ASAP. All right, moving to number 2. Purchasing power. Okay. Y'all need to go to the places and to the people who got money. I know. It's so tempting to be like, I want to serve my community, and so I want to keep my prices low. But guess what? The same community you want to serve with low prices, ooh, let me tell you, they're buying Jordans for $300. Shoes. Right? They're going to the bars and dropping big bags. They're buying all the things that they don't really need for lots and lots of money, but you're concerned that they won't buy from you. So I just want to say, go to the people who understand the value of what you're providing. Okay? It's lowering your price for people is not going to make people buy from you more. It's learning how to communicate the value of what you do better. That's going to help you get to that next level. And now going back to why getting into markets where the customers have a higher purchasing power, it's because if you're marketing to broke college students, you won't be able to sell these really expensive things consistently at that, right? And so understanding your market by doing your research, you're able to recognize, like, at a whole, can these people afford what I have to offer? Okay. And so this is why I'm always so big on charge what you need to charge to run your business now, and take that excess and provide charitable opportunities for the people who can't afford what you have to offer. Okay. And the reason why I stress this so much is because you being charitable is not going to run or grow your business. It's not going to run your business, unfortunately. And really, it's going to cost you. And then you're going to be tired and sick of doing your business because you're working for pennies. While you're seeing all these other business owners, they're being able to take off, grow their teams, do all these things. But meanwhile, you're sitting here struggling, trying to serve people who barely understand the value that you're providing, meaning they invest less time, invest less energy. Just focus on working and providing value to the people who are willing to pay and can pay the prices that will keep you paid and keep your business running, and then do charitable work for the people who cannot afford your services. Volunteer work, create lower offers, give it for free if you want to. Give it for free. But the only way you're able to give things for free is if you have that capacity. If you have the freedom to be able to do that. And that comes with charging higher prices and making sure you're in markets who have the purchasing power to get from you. Okay. So the next thing, making sure you're entering markets that are very easy to target. So I wrote a funny example down, but imagine having Uber, or only positioning, let's say Uber decided that they were only going to have their brands, or have, actually, let's do, what is that car brand? I think it's Turbo or something like that. It's basically where you can like rent cars, other people's cars. Now imagine that service decided to just be in the suburbs of Michigan, in Grand Blanc, where I live. Okay. Imagine that was the case. They wouldn't be very profitable, right? Because most people in the suburbs have cars. Most people in the suburbs don't, like, we don't have places where you can just walk to. You have to drive everywhere. So people have ways to get around. We don't really have public transportation around here because everyone's driving. They have a car. So it wouldn't make sense for them to position themselves in this market, AKA in this city, to this certain demographic of people. Now, by Turbo, or whatever this company's name is called, I'll have to look it up. But if they position themselves in Detroit or Chicago or Milwaukee, all these bigger cities where things are more like walking distance, you know, public transportation is a bigger thing. People don't really use cars too much because they can just get around. That's where it would be more useful. And also it's a college town as well. And like, you know, people are just more out and on the go, and there's more things to do. So it would make more sense for them to position their company there. Again, focusing on finding your audience, or finding your target customers, and making sure that they're easy to target. It has to make sense. It can't just be because you wanted it to, right? You can't just put the Turbo car, what is this thing called? You can't just bring that company and put it in the suburbs because that's where you live, right? It's cool for testing. Not really. But, you know, if you want to maximize your profits, maximize your impact, maximize your efforts, then positioning in a more crowded city where people are used to doing public transportation, doing Uber, getting around, going out every single day, going to different places, then that would be the best option for you. Now, going into the very last point of how to make sure that you're positioning your brand in the right market so that you can be profitable long-term, is to make sure that you are in a growing market. Now, let me just say, we're going to throw it back to Blockbuster. Blockbuster was not really, I don't know what was going on with the CEO. She was a little bit sleepy. She wasn't with the times, okay? But because they did not decide to pivot with the new trends coming along in the world, they got left behind. Now, imagine if Blockbuster decided to open up 2 more locations in this transition. They would be losing sales consistently, because why are you creating things nobody asked for? Why? For what? What was the purpose? Right? The market was declining. Let's say I was a new business owner. I was in the era of Blockbuster when the decline happened, when Netflix was starting to come up, when on-the-go DVD discs were starting to, what was that called? See, I need to go back and get these names for you guys. What was the one that was at the, whatever, we'll come back to it. But imagine I was starting my company during that time. I would have immediately lost. because the market was declining. I entered into a dying market. Don't enter into a dying market. You will lose every time. And that's why it's so important to do your research beforehand, making sure that you're providing real solutions to real problems. What does that mean you have to do? You have to talk to people. You have to figure out what people are actually struggling with. It will require you to get outside of your comfort zone. And maybe I'll make another video about this later this week with just how to do effective market research so that you can make sure that you're actually creating solutions, right? So that you can actually get paid good money and create scalable businesses. But I digress. But again, let's just do a quick recap of all four. Number one, also, if you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button, please, please, please. And leave a comment. What are your thoughts about these four main variables, okay? So running through them one last time. Make sure that when you are entering a market, it is a market that is experiencing pain. These people are in pain. They need a solution now, right? Number two, make sure these people have purchasing power. You can do charity, but right now we are doing business. We are doing business, okay? Number three, make sure they are easy to target. Are they in abundance, or is your market small? We need to figure that out. We want to create scalable businesses. We want to create solutions for big problems. Okay, that's what's going to keep us paid. All right, and number four, make sure the market is growing. You don't want to enter into a dying market. It means your business will be dying soon as well. So again, it comes down to customer research. It comes down to you knowing yourself and knowing what kind of business you want to create. Do you want to create a business that is just, I'm creating this because I know it's a problem and I just want to solve it, but I don't really have any emotional connection to it because I'm just an entrepreneur and I like to create? Or do you want to focus on creating businesses that you have also experienced, meaning you went through the trials and the errors, and now you're taking your experience and teaching other people who used to be you or who you used to be like, and helping them overcome and transition into that better person, right? Whether that's in the health industry, in the fitness industry, wealth industry, it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's many different options of how you can create and run profitable businesses, but it first starts with positioning and knowing what you want and how you want to go about it. So with that being said, guys, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the like button too. And if you want to comment, that would be very sweet. But again, as always, I love you so much. We have a, I will be hosting, this is just a little sneak peek. I won't give too much information, but I'll be hosting a sales training within the next upcoming weeks. I'll give you the specific date in one of my next videos, but stay tuned for that because it's going to be great. I've been wanting to do another one of these for a very long time. So yeah, might as well get one started for the new year. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.